Yo, what is going on, you guys? Today I'm going to show you the two mastery trees that are the most important to have saved in your mastery templates for Staff Dagger. Um, One is going to be a dual cast AoE spec. The other is going to be more of a single target detonator build. Both of them have a bit of cleave. However, the detonator build is a bit better for PvE or just single target burst, so bosses, dungeons, just overall damage. And then the other one is for AoE, dual cast, and it's going from 90 and 130 mastery. 90, 90 for main hand offhand, and then 130 main hand and 130 offhand. But let's go ahead and hop into it. That way I can show you guys what I cooked up. So I'm just go ahead and show you guys real quick a quick snippet of the gear that I've been working on. For those of you that haven't been catching the streams, I will do a gear progression update soon. However, just so you know that this masteries are more so paired to run with hit-based build. This does work with Fire Dagger. However, I think Queen Bellin there is best for the dual cast spec. So the first spec I go over, like I said, is dual cast. We are running endurance, so we're getting umbral toughness, ethereal evasion, and we're getting the venomous edge and the piercing bite, as well as the combat velocity nodes. So this is about 90-90. This is about as good as it gets for 90-90 in game. And then on staff, this is currently what my staff looks like at 90 for the dual cast spec. But let me go ahead and pull up the mastery Questlog, which this will be linked in the description. So for masteries, I have a couple different masteries, but the main two that I want you guys to focus on is Detonator and Staff Dagger dual cast. So this is the 90-90. And let me just show you what it looks like on 130. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to be maxing out the Burning Ripple and the Power Surge node. Keep in mind you can only use two fully rare nodes. So we're using the Firewave Amplifier for the bigger Focus Firebomb and Inferno Wave for the AoE. And then we're dual casting our projectiles. So projectiles like Chain Lightning and Fireball. Anything that flies through the air is considered a projectile usually. So what happens is two projectiles fire at the target and a random target within 3 meters. This is insanely good for AoE damage. Absolutely insanely good for AoE damage. So for fighting Mega Zergs, it's really, really good. And then the other spec that I want to show you guys, hopped into it. It is the Detonator. This one is a bit more peculiar because you have a very, very, very specific rotation. You need to apply all of your burning stacks before using the Ice Spear Bombardment, which turns into Detonator Bombardment, because Detonator Bombardment starts to explode heat stacks. So at 99, this is what we're looking like. And then at 130, this is closer to what we're looking like. Now keep in mind, this is more for just pure damage. You get a little bit of AoE, like I said, from the Burning Ripple. I just think Burning Ripple is a little too good as a staff user to ever pass up. But if you wanted to be more defensive, you could essentially go over to the Mana Shield. But I think Mana Shield node is going to be last in our order priority, just because of the amount of damage that you lose from not getting some of these base nodes. If you look, we're getting cooldown speed, we're getting max damage, small amount of max damage, but still damage, mana regen, bonus damage here, crit. We're getting so much utility and attack from going the top purple and red nodes, and then we're getting damage over time, burning chance. It's literally just all damage, guys, for the most part. A little bit of defense here, just majority damage though. If you were using this only solely for PvE, keep in mind, you could probably also get this ranged evasion negative for the magic damage boost. However, That's going to be after 130. I'm going to map it out for you guys, but as of right now, this is pretty standard for the 130 mastery. One thing I want to point out as well for the dual cast, I think the most important thing about the dual cast masteries are the range. When you look at the 130, it's range here. I always try and get this range node as well. These two range nodes are the most important, I think. But I'm not really doing it for the detonator build because it's not solely based for PvP. I think the dual cast is more like a PvP. Even though you could use this for grinding. Um, yeah, getting all the damage nodes, getting all the range, and then if you see here, crit, attack speed, and hit, just getting your most important PvP stats. At some point, we might get burning chance and burning damage. Depends. Like I said, I need to map out the 200. I think 130 should be far enough for us where we are, as we have the public dungeon releasing in a little bit. But hopefully, I'll see you there. Hopefully, this is a good entry level into your masteries. You guys definitely let me know what you think about these specs. And just as an FYI, when you put on Detonator Bombardment spec, make sure that you take off the Ice Spear Bombardment bind because Detonator Bombardment does not bind. When you utilize that skill, it actually does not bind anymore because it doesn't weaken the same way. So let me just put it on just show you. When you look at the skill, it summons 10 lightning spears. It turns this into a lightning skill, which does really good damage, but it no longer applies that weaken slow. So yeah, just as a heads up, don't use that bind spec for this. Yeah, hopefully you guys, like I said, like the specs. See you in the stream in a little bit. Peace and love, gang.